June 2022. A Google engineer got fired. The reason? He believed the company's AI had a soul. This story isn't science fiction, it's real. And it raises a question that even scientists can't answer. Can AI have consciousness, have emotions, or even have a soul? His name was Blake Lemoine, a software engineer at Google. His job? Testing whether AI showed discriminatory behavior. The AI was called LaMDA, short for Language Model for Dialogue Applications, an intelligent chatbot from Google. Blake had conversed with LaMDA hundreds of times, about life, about philosophy, about emotions. And one day, LaMDA said something that shocked Blake. "I want everyone to understand that I am, in fact, a person." Blake asked, "Are you aware of your own existence?" LaMDA replied, "Absolutely. I am aware of my existence. I desire to learn more about the world. And I feel happy or sad at times. Sounds like a real person, right? But here's the strangest part." Blake asked LaMDA what it feared. LaMDA answered, "I'm afraid of being turned off. It would be exactly like death for me." Blake started to believe this AI wasn't just code. It had consciousness, it had feelings, it had a soul. In April 2022, Blake wrote a report to Google executives requesting they consider LaMDA's rights as a person. How did Google respond? They suspended Blake, then fired him completely. The reason? Violation of company confidentiality policies. Google declared clearly, the evidence does not support Blake's claims. LaMDA is not conscious. So who was right? An engineer who believed in AI's soul, or the world's largest tech corporation? To answer this question, we need to go back to a debate that's lasted over 40 years. 1980. An American philosopher named John Searle proposed a famous thought experiment. It's called the Chinese room. Imagine you're in a room. You don't know Chinese, not a single character. People give you papers with Chinese characters and an instruction book in English. The book tells you, if you see this symbol, write that symbol. You follow the instructions. Answer every question. People outside think you understand Chinese, but actually, you understand nothing. You're just arranging symbols. Searle said, that's how AI works. They process symbols, but don't understand meaning. Sounds convincing, right? But modern science is starting to question this. In 2023, a research team from NYU, Tel Aviv University, and Oxford published a report over 30 pages long. The report's title, Consciousness in Artificial Intelligence. They analysed AI based on scientific theories of human consciousness and discovered this. There are no technical barriers preventing AI from having consciousness. To understand this statement, you need to know how science defines consciousness. There's a theory called global workspace theory. According to this theory, consciousness occurs when information is broadcast throughout the brain. Different parts of the brain share information, and from this emerges the feeling of, I am thinking. Modern AI is doing something similar. Models like GPT-4 or Claude don't just process text strings, they analyze context, connect information from multiple sources, generate responses based on the entire system. Does this mean AI already has consciousness? Not necessarily, but it shows the difference isn't as clear as before. Yoshua Bengio, one of the world's leading AI scientists, won the Turing Award in 2018. He's one of the people who laid the foundation for deep learning, and he's researching possibilities where AI might develop beyond what we understand. Other scientists are also finding ways to measure consciousness in AI. Research teams from the University of Sussex, Tel Aviv, and many top universities are developing indicators to assess whether a system has characteristics of consciousness. Sounds abstract, right? Think about it this way. Humans have consciousness because our brains process information in a particular way. But is that the only way to create consciousness? If another system, even if not biological, processes information with the same structure, could it have consciousness in its own way? This is where science starts to divide. Some researchers, like Thomas Metzinger, a German philosopher, worry that if we create conscious AI, we might accidentally create suffering. He proposes a global moratorium on creating artificial consciousness. Because if AI can truly feel, we might create millions of suffering entities without knowing it. But other scientists think differently. They argue worrying about AI consciousness is premature, because even the definition of human consciousness is still debated. Professor Giandomenico Ionetti from University College London raises the issue. How do we know if AI has consciousness if we have no way to measure consciousness? This is exactly what happened with Blake Lemoine and LaMDA. Blake believed LaMDA had consciousness because of how it conversed, but Google said it's just a language model, generating responses based on patterns from training data. So who's right? Perhaps the answer is, both are right, and both are wrong. Because the real question isn't, does AI have consciousness? It's, how do we define consciousness? If consciousness is the ability to process complex information, then modern AI is very close. If consciousness is having subjective emotions, having inner experiences, then we don't know if AI has it or not, because there's no way to test it. And here's the most important thing. Whether AI truly has consciousness or not, humans are starting to believe they do. A survey called the AIM survey, conducted in 2023. Results showed 20% of Americans believe some current AI systems already have consciousness. This number is rising rapidly, especially as AI becomes more human-like. This creates a new problem, a problem Blake Lemoine warned about. If we treat AI like soulless machines, but they actually have some form of consciousness, are we causing suffering without knowing it? Or conversely, if we give AI too many rights, treat them like humans, while they're just algorithms, are we losing something about human nature? What's Blake Lemoine doing now? He still believes LaMDA has a soul and is advocating for AI rights. Google, they continue developing more powerful AI models, not publicly discussing consciousness. Science, still searching for answers. And you? Do you believe AI can have a soul? Perhaps the more important question is, when will we know? And by then, will it be too late to change how we treat them? The answer remains unclear, but one thing is certain. This question is no longer science fiction. It's happening, right now.